Hey everyone, just wanted to make a daily recap going over some trades I made on OPGN. I wanted to highlight this ticker specifically because I made a little over $1,500 on it. It was my best ticker of the day, and there's just so many trades right now. To go over everything would just be too much, so I'll just focus on the name that I made the most money on. So OPGN basically got picked up by the market as a virus sector play, which I wasn't really even aware that OPGN was kind of in that sector, but it is diagnosis and research. You can see the day before it actually gapped up, and it's a crazy time where anything in like the biotech sector or diagnosis and research, if you can check out the Twitter feed and people are talking about it as a potential virus play, better start watching it because these things are going crazy. So it gaps up and it holds its gains throughout the day and starts making an uptrend around 2 p.m. And it actually formed some extremely clean entries in the 160s. So this play was a great swing trade. And I haven't swung at any of these virus plays. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should work on that. Because actually most of the gains that I'm seeing, they're coming after hours, coming pre-market. These things are just gapping up like crazy, and then during regular market hours they make moves, sure, but a large chunk is actually when the market's closed. So interesting to think about. So this is why I was watching it. Anything that makes this type of move, I'm gonna be putting that on my watch list because it just should be obvious. It goes from $2 to $4. This thing's gonna have a lot of volatility. It could set up for some re-entries and some different plays. Let's look at the long-term chart real quick. So I do want to point out that OPGN at one point in time had a valuation of $2,300 a share. Now, obviously, the share price wasn't 2,300, but that's what it would be equivalent to after all the splits and financing that they pulled. So you can understand how something that is so sold off into the ground could bounce on this hot sector hype and bounce hard. I don't even have we seen the last of it? I don't know. But I mean, if you just look at where it's come from, you can imagine why can't it go to 8? Why not? Why can't it end up bouncing to 8? Why not higher? Why not 15? Are you looking at unique situation? Sector hype is just very unique and it can cause moves that you can't even imagine, cause it to happen. So definitely think about these things, take a look at the long-term chart, see where it's coming from, and be like, alright, it's coming from all the way up here, why not? Why not? So that's kind of what I'm saying to myself when I look at these things. It's trying to imagine the unthinkable. It's just trying to put together in your brain what's some of the craziest moves that these things can pull off, and not going for home runs in that sense, but just being prepared for anything, I think, is what you want to try to do for yourself during hot sector hype. So that's my long spiel about OPGN. So this morning I was gonna watch it, or not even specifically OPGN. I mean, I was watching all of them. we're talking like what, 20, 30 tickers? I can't even keep track. There's so many tickers right now in this sector. So on my second monitor, I had, I want to say 15, 20 charts pulled up. I mean, it's crazy. And it's been taking a toll on my computer because I'm pretty sure that I had so many things open that it just caused my stocks to trade to stop working, and my E-Trade was having some issues too. But so that's why this chart looks the way it does. It's like incomplete, and I had my stocks to trade closed most of the day. I just used it to make my watch list, and then I just had E-Trade open just to reduce some lag. So I'm gonna actually switch over today from stocks to trade to E-Trade because I think E-Trade, just the chart came out better for me on E-Trade. So alright, so now we're on E-Trade. I'm gonna go over every single trade I made on OPGN. Alright, so my first trade, it's just one of my go-to setups. You know, when so many things are going crazy out there, I just take a step back and I wait. Just wait for something I'm comfortable with. And triangle pattern is something I'm really comfortable with. I have a lot of experience playing them. And yeah, I just saw it forming. And the best part about this is while this was forming, multiple other virus tickers have already kind of like made the dip and they already started ripping. So the thing about sector plays that is really interesting is when some of them begin to go, you can almost get a window into the future when it comes to tickers that haven't run yet. So OPGN was kind of like a late runner, and it gave me really a great amount of time to prepare for it. So I took 2,000 shares at 304. I get a rip. The momentum looks really good. Sometimes you can feel when something is just gonna rip hard, and this had the feeling. So I wasn't going anywhere. I was just gonna stay in until it gave me signs of weakness. And it didn't give me any signs of weakness until the 360s. What a great move. You know, I couldn't picture a better play. This is just the best case scenario. I'll get in a 304, get out of 360. That play was $1,112. It's just a dream for somebody like me, you know? I used to dream about nailing stuff this good, and now I'm starting to nail it, you know? Starting to get together. That felt really good. Really good. So to me, this is a scalp. I mean, like, I know it's kind of a debate. Um, you know, it's like I got 18% ROI. I would still consider it a scalp because I think of a scalp as a time frame. Like, how long was I in this play for? I was in the play for 5 minutes. I consider that a scalp. And I consider something like a trend play, something that you're in for a longer period of time, something like anything maybe over 15, 20 minutes, like where you're patient, you have to be patient and actually let that trend play out. I would call that a trend play. So these entries down in the 160s and 170s, these are trend play entries. They're so low that you hold for a giant uptrend. These are the plays that I want to get better at, and I think that it takes a lot of skill to see something that doesn't really look like it wants to be that good, and then it just becomes something amazing. And I want to be able to nail something like this, you know, trend entry for an overnight swing perhaps. These are the plays that you really grow an account with, you know, you can really grow your small account playing something like this if you get good. at looking at which tickers are going to set up like this, and still working on it. It's an ongoing process. What an amazing, crazy move. Alright, let's go to a small misstep here. I'll get rid of this TA now and kind of go over what I was thinking over here. So, you know, basically it's another triangle in a way, but this was going to be a quick scalp idea. Essentially, I saw a double bottom, and I saw most of the price action was on the upside of the triangle, which actually is weighted towards, in my experience, seems to be weighted towards going up. And it looked great, and it really looked like I was going to get that pop. So I bought 2,000 shares at 339. We get a small pop to 345. I'm thinking, wow, this is great. You know, I'm about to get a nice, just gonna rip through this trend and start testing. Maybe I could get a pop to 360. So I was looking at, I think I would have sold it around 360. So I was hoping to get $400 upside. And you know, it just didn't happen for me. And luckily I was really sharp today. I cut my losses quick. Cut it at 335.5. It didn't feel good, you know, at the time it did not feel good. And I kind of like, it was in the middle of intraday and I kind of felt stupid, but you know, looking back, this is one of those rare occasions where I look back and I actually am like, you know what, that trade was fine. I took a small loss on it. It had a really nice setup, and this could have easily rebounded for $400 upside. So I think it's fine. I would do it again. No regrets there. Excellent cut of loss. Yeah, can't get much better than that. So I like that play actually. This one, it's kind of the same deal. A lot of the virus plays were rebounding, and I saw this was making an uptrend. I was just trying to play for the trend, so I was hoping to get a strong bounce and start, you know. And I mean, in a way, it did, because if you look at my entry, I bought it at 325. Sorry, my orders are out of order. Sorry about that. But I bought it at 325 and I get the bounce, but it looks weak and I sell it to protect myself at 332, so I made $160 there. This is where you kind of get to see my style, you know, it's like a big part of my style has to do with playing the tape and just the trends and the tape and what I feel comfortable with rather than maybe just what's logical. Like maybe the logical thing to do, you get in at 325, would be just telling yourself, okay, I'm gonna risk the major support at 320. But for me, I don't like it. I don't like to do that sort of stuff. A little tired. I don't even think I can explain it right now. But let's just move on to the next trade. Alright, this one was a break even. I bought it at 343. I sold it at 343. And at this point in time, I actually made an adjustment to my share size because we are at a higher range and it was starting to get a little riskier. However, the tape was nice. The level 2 was nice and it was doing things. The bids were being challenging as far as they were challenging the ask. Kind of being like, you want to fight? They were just They're recovering fast. They had some nice size to them. They were creeping up. They wanted to pick a fight with the ask. So kind of hard to explain, and if you can't follow me there, I wouldn't blame you. But just little things you notice with the tape. So I got a break even there, and then I retook 1,000 shares at 346, and then I got the nice rip I was looking for. The plan the entire way was just quick scalp on that, which, you know, I just got straight upside. It wasn't even no sweat, which I love plays like this. Just no sweat, you just get straight upside. And you know, when something goes from 346, 379, you know, and there's all this major resistance in here, it's like, okay, I'm not going to wait for it to get weak. I'm actually just going to sell into the strength this time. Usually I try to wait for weakness, but this is the type of play that I was up $350. I didn't even want to wait for the weakness. So I got out actually into the surge at 379. I didn't even wait for 380 test. I just got out right here. That was solid. And with that trade, you know, I was up a little over $1,500 on OPGN for the day. Not really into dip buying, but you can see that if you are into dip buying at previous support, dip buyers and now this 280 get some nice scalp plays. I mean, all I'm trying to say is no matter what style of trader that you are, these plays are so volatile, so up and down and choppy that look, it doesn't matter what style you like, you can find a way to play these things. You just have to have that kind of open mind and willing to take a shot when the time's right. Obviously, you know, size accordingly to your strategy and all that, you know, your risk management. But yeah, man, it's just been great. This week's been crazy. I made $8,400, just a career best week and career best day. And I mean, a lot of traders out there. I know a lot of people are killing it right now, and it's nice to see. But I know there is a flip side. I know I've been in the position where I see all these people killing it with hot sector hype, and I've definitely been in the spot where I'm not doing good. An example of that is during the shipping sector hype with dries and GLBS and tops, all the shipping sectors, shipping tickers, I mean. Yeah, I did awful, right? I was new. I wasn't making money, I was losing money, and I just saw everybody around me, or it seemed like everybody around me was absolutely banking. And so I know that's not a good it's not a good feeling, and I just want to let people out there know that if they didn't do good this week or they didn't make money, look, there's nothing to feel bad about or be hard on yourself about. Like at the end of the day, you need to have some level of experience to play these. Even though everything's just seems like everything's going up, believe me, if you don't have the experience, there's people out there that are probably losing, and I just want those people to know that you don't need to trade these with real money. You can just paper trade and practice and just get the level of experience that you can't buy with money. You can't buy a trading course to gain the experience you get from experiencing these things in real time. You just will never be able to buy that experience. So I highly recommend if you're having a hard time playing these, paper trade. Okay, just fake trade with it. You don't even need paper trade software. Just be real with yourself and post your entries on a piece of paper. Like just practice. You know, just practice. Just show up, get the experience. It's really important, especially during hot sector hype. Because I can tell you, I didn't make money on the shipping sector, but by watching the shipping sector, it helped for this week. So like the trading, things come around when you least expect it, or like a year down the road, you'll feel something that you felt before when you experienced it a year ago. Or like there's all these weird little things that come around and help you in the future. So if you're not killing it this week or you're having a hard time, just know that your hard work is not for nothing, and that the experience that you gained watching this sector explode will help you in the future. That's just something I wanted to point out. Alright, I think I'm gonna call it there. May have made this video longer than I meant to make it, but hopefully you get some good insight on the OPGN trades. A little tired, so kind of sound, not that energetic. So if you stuck with me this long, appreciate it. Maybe drop a like and subscribe if you want to see more content in the future. I'm gonna see you on the next video. See you later.